All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Texas. A reminder to please silence your cell phones or any electronic devices you have, and then to give your name and affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. I'm joined by Texas head coach Mike White and players Reese Atwood, Tegan Cavan, and Viviana Martinez. Coach, if you'd like to start with an opening statement, we'll start with that and then go to open it up for questions.
Sure. Well, we're excited to be here in Oklahoma City for the second time in the last 3 years. Thank you to USA Softball, Oklahoma City itself for putting this event on. This is a great stadium, and we're excited to be here in front of this crowd that's going to be ready to see some good softball. It was fun watching all the teams play last week, over the last couple of weeks. There's been some exciting stuff going on, including our games. And I think it's great for the game itself, and hopefully there'll be a lot of people watching, and we can provide some great entertainment for those that are watching out throughout the country.
All right, we'll open up for questions. All right, front row left, Jenny.
Jenny Carlson, jennycarlson.substack. Mike, everybody nowadays has transfers, but you've got so many of your players that have been developed from, high school players on up. Can you just talk about how you did that, how you were able to keep such a large group of your high schoolers together through the program, and what that's meant for just where you guys are today?
It's a good question, and maybe it's a better question for the players themselves, because they're the ones that make those choices to stay or go. But we've really got a heavy emphasis on recruiting and bringing in young players and showing that we can help them become better players, better people, and provide great education at the University of Texas for future years. Of course, it's all about the experience for the student athlete. If they're not having, and we're open too. We say that we give them real-time feedback on their playing future. Whether they're going to see some playing time or not see playing time, or where they're ranked, and then it's up to them to make that decision. And we want to be on their side and help them. And I've told them this too, that if it's not for them, then we'll help them find a place to play. And that's happened in our program too. We've had people transfer out, but we're real specific on who we need to bring in if there's a hole to bring in, not just to bring people in.
All right, we'll go to second row left here, Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff Brunt, Associated Press. This is for players, any of you who wish to answer this. No matter who you play, crowd's going to be against you. You're in Oklahoma. It's either going to be Oklahoma fans that don't like you, Oklahoma State fans that don't like you, or whoever you're playing against, fans that don't like you. How do you approach that from a mental standpoint, knowing that you're basically going to be playing road games every game?
I think as a team, we've just learned to be able to take that energy and use it to benefit us. Like you said, a lot of people are going to be cheering against us, but we also have our family in the stands. We have the people cheering for us, and we have each other, so that's all we really need.
Yeah, I think we use that as motivation.
Go last row in the right here.
Jacob Richmond, Lone Star Live. Coach, I know it's been a couple months that you played Stanford, but you had the chance to play them twice. How much do you take away from those first two games? How much do you hope that what do you hope that the team takes away from those first two meetings?
Well, they were, the first game we were actually able to kind of get out to a good lead, and Tegan threw extremely well against them. And then the second game was in Austin. Nyjah threw that game against us, and she threw very well. It was an exciting game, went extra innings, 4-3. We lost. I expect nothing less in this next game. They're a tough club. They're fired up. Jess is a great coach. Nyjah's obviously the best pitcher in the country right now. Won the award last night, and congratulations to her and Stanford. But we're going to be ready. That's what it is. That's what makes this thing great. Is that it's a new day. It's 0-0, and let's go.
Questions? Go front row left here to Joe.
Mike, you guys are obviously a part of conference realignment yourself, but having, been at Oregon, I just wanted to get your thoughts on kind of the end of the Pac-12, which has for so long kind of been the gold standard for softball.
Yeah, I think it's tough, but we're down the totem pole, so to speak, as a sport in relation to the breadwinners as far as football and men's basketball. But women's sports is catching up, and we're hoping that whatever the conference realignment does, it benefits softball in the long run. I don't know how it's going to shake out with the Olympic sports having to travel so much. I think that's going to be very difficult, especially 3 time zones for some of these clubs. We're just doing one, which is going to be bad enough as it is. So I don't know. This might be a question to ask in maybe 2 or 3 years once everything kind of shakes out. But who knows? We go with the flow. I mean, it's not our job to make those decisions, and we'll just do whatever it takes to go play. We're excited about going to the SEC. Obviously, 13 of those teams made the postseason. Incredible conference. It's going to help actually softball itself. I think week in and week out. We saw a tough SEC team last week, and that was a knockdown, drag-out series. And I think, as I told my friends, I said every weekend is going to be like this. Going into those environments.
All right, we'll go to second row on the right, Myron.
Myron Patton, OKC Sports Radio. Coach, and if players, you want to jump in on this too. In the past, Oklahoma has won the Big 12 and usually been the number 1 seed. This year, you're the number 1 seed. You won the regular season. You've been here before. Any change in how you approach this week, your attitude coming in, since the roles have kind of been flipped a little bit?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, 3 players to my right here haven't been at this before, so they're our young talent, but they're the best we've got on our club right now, and they're excited, and we try to tell them and help them. We've had, I think, 8 players that have been here before in 2022. But, it is exciting. Oklahoma is obviously the gold standard, as you said. We've played them a number of times. We're fortunate to come out on that series. That was a good series played in Austin. The crowd here is tough. It's a tough place to play, and we're ready to go. But maybe the ladies can jump in on this one.
Yeah, I think coming here, it's definitely going to be something new for, us young players, but we're definitely going to lean on the seniors and the players that were here, before us. They've been here. They know what to do and how, certain things play out. So just being able to learn from, the experience and learn from them going into this week.
Yeah, I'm just planning on soaking it all up, learning a bunch from it, and then talking to our veteran players and learning from them and anyone who's been in this situation before, and just figuring out a way that we can do this together and do this as a team and combat any adversity.
Yeah, I think we just continue to compete and treat every game like it's a big one, because it's going to be a good tournament, so I'm excited.
All right, we'll go to third row on the left, Justin.
Reese, for you, this year you've done so much so well, and your stardom has risen so much. How have you handled that through the course of the year to continue producing at the level you've produced?
I think just playing the game freely. I think I play with some of the greatest teammates. They're my family. They're my best friends, and just being able to play on this team means so much to me. And I think it's really what has gotten me to where I am today, and allowed me to improve my game, learning from them. I'm just super grateful to be part of this team.
For you, I think sometimes we forget you're a freshman, to be honest. Through the course of the year, the different experiences you've had, whether it's big wins, whether it's kind of tough breaks, to get to the point you're at, even this past weekend against A&M, just being so locked in. What have your experiences through the course of your freshman year done to have you ready to play on this stage, to pitch when the pressure's on like you did this weekend?
Yeah, I've been put in a lot of big situations, and I think that's only going to help me going forward. And so I'm grateful that I've been put in these situations, and I'm grateful I have the ball out there, and that, like what Reese said, I have my team that always has my back, and they always help me through it.
More questions? Go to third row on the right.
For any of the players, I was wondering if you could specify who are some of those leaders that have been really helpful for you this season, if there's any advice, anything that you're planning to take with you as you take the field for the first time.
For sure, our captain, Alyssa Washington. I know she helps us out a lot on the infield and always gives us the feedback that we need. If it's talking to the pitchers on defense, or just having everyone calm down and relax in those pressure situations. Just soaking everything in, because I know that a lot of the seniors now have told us that it's going to be 100 times bigger than the Big 12 tournament. So just soaking that in, and also just competing.
Yeah, I think we have great leaders in all of our classes, and I think that just shows how well-rounded we are as a team, and that we can all help each other, and that we all step up in big moments.
All right, we'll go second row left, Cliff.
All right, yeah, Cliff Brunt, Associated Press. Coach, you're aware of the agreement with the NCAA and the conferences paving the way for schools to pay athletes directly. I wonder if you have any concern at all about how that might affect softball down the road, like whether money might be diverted in the sport to paying maybe football players, things like that, or if you feel like the sport is at a point where it's enough of a priority for schools that it can benefit from this.
Well, I think that that's going to be an issue for each individual school. All I can say is that from Texas' point of view, I have full faith in the fact that Chris Del Conte is going to make sure softball is taken care of. so to speak. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean, where it's going to, end up. I mean, that's to be seen yet. But we're all hoping that it doesn't hurt softball, that's for sure, because we are on a growth stage along with several other women's sports that are really taking off right now, and anything that hurts it, and we're certainly afraid of that, that's for sure. We don't want that to happen, but we're hoping that each individual school sees the benefits in keeping the money flowing to softball and keeping it as a premier sport.
More questions in the room? All right, we do have one on Zoom from Jana Bardall from The Athletic. Go ahead, Jana.
From The Athletic. Can you guys hear me?
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks so much. Just a question maybe for everybody. How does a series as competitive as the one with Texas A&M prepare you guys for this Women's College World Series? And how do you recover from it as well, just physically?
I think it was just such a learning experience, like coming in. I think that's exactly what we needed going into this week, and it's definitely going to be hard. And that series prepared us. It was a fight, like every single inning, and there was like a couple times where we had to like be tested to like the maximum limit, and we were able to pull through with the win in the series. And just, I think that's definitely prepared us for this week.
Yeah, we talked about it all weekend that that series was going to prepare us. So I think it only makes us better, and I'm glad that we were battle tested then, and that we can use that to help us going forward.
Yeah, being battle tested, it has really shown for us to lean against each other and trust each other, whether we make mistakes or not. And I think we fought through each inning, and it really showed us and showed everybody else that we do have grit.
Yeah, by design, we played a really tough schedule this year, and we've played in a tough conference. Obviously, 3 of our teams have made the College World Series. We've had to make big plays throughout the year, and there was no difference last weekend. We had to make some big plays, come up some big at-bats, and make some big pitches, and the ladies were able to do that, and I think that was from the adversity created going through the whole year, and hats off to them because it's not easy, and we're able to come through on the right end of things.
All right, we have another Zoom question from Eric Lopez.
Yeah, Eric Lopez, D1 softball. For Coach, how much do you take into those 2 meetings that you played with Stanford earlier in the year, and how much are you both different now that maybe you don't use as much from those 2 meetings? How do you balance that out?
That's a good question. We don't know. That's what we're going to play. It's not played on paper at all, and whoever can handle the environment the best. There's always a test between how well you can play and how well you do play, and it's the one that's able to handle it in the moment. And that's kind of yet to be seen. Obviously, we're facing one of the best pitchers in the country. We know that. We have a tough team, one of the best offensive teams in the country, and what a matchup. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Any more questions? Okay, I think that'll. Oh, actually, we have one more on Zoom from Jana Bardall again.
Yeah, thank you. I just had one follow-up for Reese. I talked to you maybe a month or so ago about hitting against Nyjah. Looking back at that game, how have you grown since then, and how has your approach to the plate evolved?
Yeah, Nyjah's just such a great pitcher, first of all. She won that award last night for a reason. She's one of the best in the country, one of the best pitchers I've ever faced. So going into this weekend, I'm just going to make sure that the team's on track to do what we do best and get on top of her rise ball and be able to get a good pitch to hit. I think that's going to be key facing her.
Okay, I think that'll wrap things up for Texas.
Yeah, thank you.